Steelers Nation, listen up, because this right here feels like the beginning of something that's been quietly building beneath the surface. A move that's not just about depth, not just about filling a roster spot, but about timing, chemistry, and championship intuition. The Pittsburgh Steelers are heading into Week 10, sitting at 5-3, leading the AFC North, and now there's a buzz. A familiar face could be stepping onto the field again with Aaron Rodgers. That's right, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, the man Rodgers once trusted to stretch defenses and deliver game-breaking plays in Green Bay, is now wearing black and gold. And it might happen sooner than anyone expected. Let's set the scene. It's been barely a week since MVS arrived in Pittsburgh. 3 practices, 1 walkthrough, a crash course in a playbook that for most players would take weeks to absorb. But Rodgers and MVS, they've danced this dance before. They've built timing the hard way through years of reps, audibles, broken plays that turned into highlight reels, and deep balls that silenced entire stadiums. That chemistry doesn't just disappear. It lies dormant, waiting for the right moment to come alive again. And if you know Aaron Rodgers, you know he's not bringing someone in unless he sees something real. He recruited MVS himself. That says it all. This move isn't about desperation. The Steelers aren't panicking. This team is not struggling to score points or searching for identity. They're averaging over 25 per game. They're in control of their destiny. But what this signing represents is a refinement, a sharpening of the blade before the real grind begins. Because Rodgers understands the value of a reliable deep threat who already speaks his language. When he looks across the formation and sees MVS split wide, he doesn't see a stranger. He sees trust. He sees timing. He sees that one signal, that one glance that can change an entire drive. Now let's talk about what MVS brings to this offense right now. The Steelers' top 2 options, DK Metcalf and Pat Freiermuth, have been workhorses. DK is drawing double coverage like a magnet. Freiermuth has been Rodgers' safety blanket underneath. But when you're talking playoff football, you need options that keep defenses honest. Roman Wilson has flash potential, sure. Calvin Austin has moments of speed, but none of them have the history with Rodgers that Valdes-Scantling does. And that's exactly what makes this move so intriguing. This isn't about installing a new weapon. It's about reuniting 2 minds that already know how to read each other without words. People forget how impactful MVS was at his peak in Green Bay. He averaged over 17 yards per catch during his best stretch, made clutch plays in playoff games, and earned Rodgers' trust in critical downs. He's not a possession receiver, he's a momentum shifter, a player who forces defensive coordinators to keep a safety high, which opens everything else underneath. That's what the Steelers' offense has been missing, that one player who changes the geometry of the field. And with Rodgers, that can happen instantly. Now, some are saying 3 practices? No way he's ready. But think about this. Rodgers and MVS spent 4 seasons together. They know each other's rhythms, body language, signals. Rodgers doesn't need a month of practice to find MVS on a seam route or a deep post. He's done it hundreds of times before. And that's why insiders are quietly predicting that we could see him active against the Chargers on Sunday night. The trust is already there. The moment is aligning perfectly. And there's something poetic about it, isn't it? Rodgers back under the bright lights of primetime, a veteran quarterback leading a 5-3 Steelers team that wasn't supposed to look this polished this early, a fan base that has waited years for this kind of offensive balance, and now the potential reunion of Rodgers and MVS, 2 players who thrived on big moments, could be the spark that carries this team deeper into the season. But make no mistake, this isn't just about MVS catching a few passes. It's about what it symbolizes. It's about Rodgers putting his stamp on the locker room and saying, this is the kind of player I trust when the game's on the line. It's about Mike Tomlin and the Steelers front office making a veteran move without overreacting. A quiet but calculated decision that speaks volumes about where this team's head is. You don't add a player like Valdes-Scantling in November unless you're thinking about January. This is a move made by contenders. And let's talk about what this means for the rest of the AFC. Because while everyone's looking at the Ravens' inconsistencies, at the Bengals' collapse, and at the Browns trying to find direction, Pittsburgh is doing what Pittsburgh always does, staying patient, staying prepared, and making the right moves at the right time. With Rodgers at the helm, DK commanding attention, Freiermuth attacking the middle, and now MVS potentially stretching the field, this offense suddenly looks far more dangerous than its numbers suggest. And when you combine that with a defense that's been rediscovering its bite under Terrell Austin, you start to see the full picture forming. This team isn't just trying to win games, they're trying to build momentum into something special. Now let's not get ahead of ourselves. MVS won't walk in and be the #1 target, but he doesn't have to be. He just needs to be the spark that keeps defenses honest. He just needs to remind teams that if you leave Rodgers a clean pocket and a speedster streaking downfield, you're going to pay for it. And in a game like this upcoming one, under the lights against a talented Chargers team, one connection between Rodgers and MVS could be the statement moment that tells the rest of the league, Pittsburgh is no joke. So, Steelers Nation, here's the question. Do you think MVS should play right away, or should the team give him more time to adapt? Would you unleash that chemistry now, or wait until he's had more practice with the offense? Because personally, I think if he's healthy, if Rodgers says he's ready, you let him play. Because those are the moments that define teams down the stretch. The bold ones, the instinctive ones, the ones that show confidence instead of hesitation. And as for Rodgers, his calm in all this speaks volumes. While the media debates trades and stats, he's steady, he's mentoring, he's preparing, and now he's getting back a weapon he already knows how to use. That's the kind of quiet power that fuels contenders, not pretenders. Steelers Nation, this team is still ascending. Every week they're tightening the screws, finding balance, and discovering new ways to win. And if this reunion with Valdes-Scantling becomes the spark we think it could be, Pittsburgh might have just found its missing piece. A deep threat with chemistry, confidence, and a hunger to prove himself again. So what do you think, Nation? Should MVS suit up this week? Do you believe his chemistry with Rodgers could ignite this offense? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button if you believe the Steelers are about to make a serious run. And don't forget to subscribe to Steelers Nation Wire, because every week, this story just gets better. The black and gold aren't just competing, they're building something real.